So the $1 million question we get as realtors all the time is, what is going on with the market? And people always want to reach out to us and have us break out our crystal ball and tell them what's going to go on in the future. And here's what I would tell you. If I would have said to you what happened in the last 20 years in real estate is what actually happened, people would have thought I was crazy. So let me give you a little idea of what's actually been going on in the real estate market. And I'm going to reference it back to running on a treadmill at the gym, which I know sounds like a crazy idea, but here's what I want to explain. Imagine you were at the gym and you were running on the treadmill. At my gym, the treadmills actually go 12 miles an hour. Now, I don't know about you, but I cannot run on a treadmill very long at 12 miles an hour, if at all. So imagine you were holding onto the rails, the tread is flying. Every once in a while, you have to jump off and put your feet on the sides while the tread is still moving. And then you got to figure out a way to jump back onto the treadmill as it's going 100 miles an hour. That is pretty much how the real estate market has been the first half of 2022, all of 2021, and probably the second half of 2020. So we had about 24 months of being in an all-out full sprint in the real estate market. So go back to the beginning of the year. If you were a buyer, people didn't realize. If you wanted to write an offer, it was sort of like a blind auction. You really didn't have a lot of opportunity to put any sort of conditions into your offer. You just had to just write a great offer, write it clean, and hope you got it. The sellers really didn't have to do anything as far as get it ready for sale, stage it, clean it. They knew they didn't have to do any deferred maintenance. It was just basically put a sign in the yard, wait for your offers to come in, and see what happens. And now as the year progressed, of course, back at the beginning of the year, people forget rates were still under 4%, and the rates started to creep up slowly during the year. And as we got to the second quarter, we still moving along just fine. And then what happened in most markets and most realtors I talked to around the country is towards the end of May, early June, it was like, bam, someone walked over and yanked the plug on that treadmill. And guess what happened? Everybody's ass went flying up against the wall because the real estate market in an overnight minute just stopped just like that. And so now everyone was trying to figure out, where is this going? The rates jumped crazy fast. The Federal Reserve was talking every other day about raising the Fed funds rate, which isn't a direct correlation to interest rates for homes, but it was affecting it for sure. And now all the buyers kind of went like, oh, I'm going to wait. I can't afford the house that I was looking at because the rates went too high. And everybody was wondering what was going on. Well, now from about mid-June, most of July, most of August, in the market that I work in, the real estate market kind of came to a screeching halt. All those realtors, lenders, title companies, everybody involved in the real estate business, remember, just got slammed off that treadmill. We're sitting over here laying against the wall trying to figure out what the heck just happened. Now, we all got ourselves up, we dusted ourselves off, so we figured out, okay, the real estate market is not going to stay dead forever. So what's going to happen going forward? And this is the question everybody wants to know. Well, what we did is we walked over and we slowly, carefully plugged that treadmill back in and we decided to hop back on. But guess what? We were not going 12 miles an hour anymore. Now we're walking at a really slow pace, maybe 1 or 2 miles an hour, where buyers and sellers were trying to figure out the game that we've been playing for the last 24 months had completely changed. And now we're trying to figure out, where are we going next? So with that being said, I've done this for 20 plus years. And the third quarter was probably the funkiest, slowest quarter I've seen in over 10 years, going even further back. And now as we go forward into the fourth quarter, we're starting to move a little bit, maybe 2-3 miles an hour. We have a lot of sales happening. December this year is going to be our busiest month of the last 6. And so you're starting to see the market kind of pick up. The big question going forward into 2023 now is, what's going to happen with interest rates? Are they going to continue to go up? Are they going to kind of stabilize in the mid 6s? Are they going to be lower, higher? That's always the hard part, trying to figure out where we want to go. But as interest rates stabilize, as the prices of homes start to stabilize, when those two numbers aren't jumping around all the time, it will be good for both buyers and sellers. And for those buyers out there, to me, this is your chance. I realize other than interest rates being really high, every other factor, more inventory, time to actually think about it and look at homes and not have to worry about buying a home that second, actually being able to write into your offers things like inspections and repairs and potentially even some other concessions that the seller who wasn't willing to do anything is now willing to actually do. And those sellers, for the first time, just know, if you'd have looked back 3-4 years ago and I would have told you your house would sell for what it's about to sell for the first quarter of 2023, you would have been still pretty happy. The fact that early 2022, the house prices were a little higher than they are now, well, timing the market is just a really difficult thing to try to figure out. So just know, going forward, the game is going to be trying to figure out how fast or slow are we going to be going on that treadmill, and how soon is it going to pick up 5, 6, 7 miles an hour, or is it going to stay right where it is? And sellers, no more of this. Just put it on the market. It'll sell to anybody. You're going to have to do deferred maintenance. You're going to have to clean it up. you're going to have to potentially have some concessions, and pricing it right is going to be critical. So going forward, as I always tell you guys, we have the stats and the statistics and the numbers. I just think it's really boring to listen to and have me show you on a video. But if you want those details, reach out to us. We're happy to get you whatever information you need to kind of talk about your specific situation. We're easy to find, so just reach out to us. And again, we'll do this on a monthly basis going forward now so that you'll know what's going on in the real estate market. And again, thanks for watching the video. We really appreciate it. And hopefully you can follow and keep an eye on our YouTube channel. Thanks so much.